Shalom, homies. I want to come in and give a quick word. Hopefully, it's going to be a quick word. Uh, it's about Yocef. The time we're in, like everyone knows, and you should know, that basically time is short. Yahusha's coming. And the thing is, when he comes, though, is he going to find you not just without spot, wrinkle, speck, or blemish, but will he find you working? Remember, scripture did say that occupy until I come. So we have to make sure that we are working, we're building, we're not just being lazy, we're not just doing our own thing or just praying and crying out and blah, blah, blah. We have to still work. We still have to build. We still have to do things for the kingdom. Because why? When Yahuah calls us, when Yahusha comes for his people, he wants a kingdom built. When he called his people home, Nehemiah helped to build the kingdom. Zerubbabel helped to build the kingdom. Yahusha, that was with Zerubbabel during that time, helped to build the kingdom. The Maccabees, they helped to build the walls back up. Nehemiah was building the walls. They always came back to help to build. They had a talent. They had a skill. They didn't just come to do nothing. They had something in their hand. You may be like, hey, I don't have any skills. I don't have any talent. What can I do in the kingdom? And if you're like that, then hey, that's fine. I also was the same way when I first started out in this walk. I was just like, okay, what do you want me to do? I mean, I played video games and watched anime, and I basically wasted 28 years of my life. And back in 2019. But up till now, he's been building me. He's been adding on to things. And what he said was, what is in your hand? What is in your hand to do my work? And I'm just like, well, I don't know. I'll just play video games. And he took that video game knowledge and had me to start to challenge myself, to build myself. The same vigor I had to not fail when I played a game, I lost, and then I kept going. I lost, and I kept going. I kept lost, and kept going. So to have that same drive to keep going, to basically strategize, because now these newer games, or when I was playing games, I don't play games anymore. But basically, it was that, okay, you attack on this time, or you attack in this area, then you strategize to win this fight. How do you strategize now? How can I go forth now? So it's that, and then like basically what I was doing was customer service. Well, okay, if I was to do business and customer service, that would basically be, that's the backbone of a business, is customer service to your clients. So I would have that skill on knowing how to do customer service. So there's a lot of things, honestly, that I can actually do. There's a lot of things I can actually say, hey, well, I didn't think I knew how to put this together, but thanks to Yahuah, Yahusha, he helped build me up. So for us during this time is to build each other up. Even I said that in Hebrews, basically to how great it is to build up your brother. Or in Psalms, how great it is for a brother to dwell in Akkad as one. So my thing is just to build up the assembly as Yahushua is building me up. He's building me up, I'm building you up. He showed me something, I'm going to show you something. So on Psalms 105, it talks about Yocef. It's just very brief, honestly. In this one, and Psalms 105 and 16. Moreover, he called for a famine to the land. He broke the whole staff of bread. He sent a man before them, even Yocef, who was sold for a servant. So we're going to stop right there, because Yocef was sold for a servant during this time. So Yocef being a servant, we all come into Yahusha being servants. Nobody come as being sons. Yahusha himself, the Messiah, was a servant when he came. So with him being a servant, he had to rise up to the position where he's supposed to be at. Everyone came as servants. Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, all were servants. They all followed. But during their following, they became trustworthy. is to see and to test you and to try you. Even wisdom says, wisdom's going to try you. Put yourself under her yoke and fetters. First, she's going to lead you astray first to see if you're actually going to be a fool. But afterwards, then she loves you. Then she's going to teach you and train you. So it's always about being a servant. Yocef, before he actually went to servitude, you could see this man was prideful. He actually was saying a whole bunch of stuff about his brother, like, oh, the Most High gave me a dream about this. And even though it was a true dream, you got to know, and how he was presenting it was that it wasn't in a humble way. It was in a way of arrogance that, oh, I've dreamed a dream, my brother. And the dream is that basically that all the sheep bow down to me. No, sorry, all the sheep bow down to me. And then came again, oh, I've dreamed yet another dream from his brothers and his father. And he said that basically the sun, moon, and stars bow down to me. So, but before that, the bowing down happened, he had to go through servitude. He had to go under the yoke. So in being under the yoke, he then learned how to be meek and humble. The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. He went through servitude. So during this lesson, it's about being like Yosef. We're going through the servitude. We're going through being humble. It's about humility during this time. As you learn and you gain the talents, and you gain the gifts, maybe spiritual gifts, it may be natural gifts. It's about being kingdom-minded. As Yahuah was teaching me, told me about being kingdom-minded. Being kingdom-minded is basically the mindset towards Yahuah, mindset toward building the kingdom. It's not about you, it's about the kingdom. Everything, even Nehemiah, when he was serving the king, I believe it was Xerxes, he had a mindset still to build up the kingdom of Yasharel. We build up the kingdom in America all the time, and that's easy. We go, we work a job, we're building up someone's kingdom, not even our own kingdom. But in these skill sets, we can take them and being more like Yosef. Again, let's go more to Yosef. 18, whose feet they hurt with fetters, he was laid in iron. Until the time that his word came, that's Yahusha, the word of Yahuah tried him. So again, in becoming more, you're always going to be tried and tested to see if you're faithful. When Esau was tried, hey, he sold his birthright for just some bread. I mean, if he was really going to be faithful, he probably wouldn't have done that. If he really was going to be faithful, he probably wouldn't have went after these other women. It was already prophesied from the beginning because Yahuah already knew this man's heart. Yaakov was tried, he went to servitude. And under servitude, he still worked under Laban. Even those exchanges, his wages were changed. And in doing that, he built up even his DNA to be servants, to have a servant's mentality, not just for the other nations, for, you know, of course, the scripture says, is Israel a homeborn slave, but instead is to be a servant to Yahuah, as Abraham was, as Yishak was, and Yaakov made a vow that if you bring me back to my land, I'll give you tithe you even 10%, and you'll be my Elohim. I will serve you. So he learned how to be a servant, and then he turned to Yahuah afterwards and said, I'm going to serve you. If he was able to go through this rigorous stuff through Laban, we can go through this rigorous stuff through Yahuah, because Yahusha said, my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. We know Laban had a heavy hand. It was basically like Pharaoh, the first Pharaoh, who went out to go and catch his servant. But Yahuah made him at nighttime say, don't speak good or evil. Why did he say don't speak good or evil? Because Laban literally, if he would spoke good things, he would try to draw and lure them back with good words. In evil, he brought a company of men with him to draw them back with fear. So he said, be neutral. So for us, we have to build up Yahuah's kingdom in servitude and humility and meekness, that I can wash your feet and you can wash my feet, as Yahusha did. We see how Yahusha came down and he was a servant. He still is serving us. Yahuah, he is king of all, and he is serving us when we ask for prayers. You don't have to answer them prayers. You just be like, okay, just go and do this. Just go and do that. Scripture even said, it was in Psalms where David said that Yahuah humbles himself to look down upon the heavens and the earth. And that would be like, wow. Yahuah, he don't have to look down on anything. You just say, I'm reigning in everything. My servants are going to take care of everything. And he could just be focused on what he wants to have accomplished. Letting time go by. But he literally looks down upon his creation. He humbles himself and bows himself down to even look upon us. He didn't have to put Yahshua's name on the palm of his hand, but he did. Even he serves us as we serve him. It's all about servitude. But 20, the king sent and loosed him, even the ruler of the people, and let him go free. During the time of our servitude to Yahusha, there's going to come a time where we go free from being servants. It's going to be a time where now we can freely serve Yahuah and worship him because we learn how to be a servant to him. We've learned what he likes and what he don't like. We learn what he wants us to do. And that's what he wants. Adam learned what Yahuah wanted to do. He said, tend to my garden. He served, but still Yahuah came and spoke with him and walked with him. So we want Yahusha to walk with us during this time, that when he comes back, he will find fruit on the tree, that we born fruit. Pray for you getting it. 21, he made him master of his house and ruler of all of substance. That's what Yahusha is doing. That's what Yahusha is doing when he comes back. He wants to make us masters of his house in New Jerusalem, that we are going to be kings and priests. Not all of us, because all of us can't rule ourselves right now. So you have to be internally clean, washed and clean, renewed of the mind and heart and soul and spirit. That there's nothing bad inside of us, that when we rule over someone, it's not going to be like the rulers and governors in Nehemiah. Nehemiah's time, it said that when they ruled the people and Nehemiah came to loose the people, he said, well, we don't have anything because basically we have to pay the taxes and land to the king. And basically they took our land. We had to sell our land and our daughters and our sons just for bread. And some of our children are already in bondage and we can't redeem them. So with all of that, basically like Nehemiah stepped into a situation where his own people put them in a bondage. And then he had to go and make them vow 7 oaths. And then he said that he shook his lap and said, just as I shook my lap, let Yahuah shake you out of your own dwelling place and out of the work of your hands. That if you don't do what you just vowed an oath to do. That's a heavy statement. So he put them under oath and basically made them sign off on that. 7 times means you're going to do that thing. And if you don't, then there's consequences. He prophesied against them saying, Yahuah shake you out of their place if you don't do this thing. But again, 21, he made him master of his house and ruler of all of his substance. He's making us masters of his house now, that we may serve in his temple, that we may be the kings and the priests now today. That we don't have to go over there and, well, what are we doing? We have to learn. No, he's already doing it. He's already building us up. He's already giving you the blueprint. That just like when Moshe's time, he said, hey, there's a skilled worker I want you to go to, and he's going to build the ark according to what I showed you on the mountain. You have to already have that skill, these talents in you, already working and laboring to have something that he can say, hey, put him in this spot, and you're not going to drop it. You're not going to fold. You're not going to fumble. 22, to bind his princes at his pleasure and to teach his senators wisdom. Why was he able to do this? Because when Yosef was able to do so many good things as a servant that he became master even of the house of the place he was serving. He was so good at being a servant, he was thrown in jail, and he still was able to be so good at serving that he became master of the prisoners. He had a rock of excellence in whatever he did. And that's what I'm praying on. Yahuah will show me what I need to do. Help me to get there because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to multitask like that. We know that Yosef, he still reverenced Yahuah because he didn't sleep with the master's wife. So Yahuah trusted Yosef because Yosef trusted Yahuah. He was an Eliezer servant. That Abraham trusted Eliezer to take all these gifts to go and get Rivka and bring her back and not run off with it, saying, I'm rich now. I have servants and I have camels and I have all these things. But Eliezer was trustworthy to go out to his far place, get the woman and bring her back for the son. And he accomplished it. So we have to accomplish everything Yahuah is putting in our hands now. And the reason why I named it Be Like Yosef, because that's what Yahuah told me earlier this year. Be like Yosef. I'm like, what does that mean? How can I be like Yosef? Yosef was busy. He was always learning. He was always growing. He was skilled in the things he learned to do. Master told him to do this. He didn't complain. It never said Yosef complained. That's the crazy thing. It never said Yosef complained. Again, Yaakov made children that were able to be in bondage and still learn and to grow. So Yaakov being in bondage taught him how to keep the sheep, keep the flock. That his children, because all that went down the DNA to his children to keep the sheep, to keep the flock. And Yosef was able to endure bondage just as his father Yaakov. It all ties in together. One bondage to another bondage in Mitzrayim, that even when they come into Yasharel as a whole, come into Mitzrayim, they all know how to be in bondage, just like Yosef, just like Yaakov. And then when it's time for bondage, they were set free when the word came. And then it says, Yasharel also came to Mitzrayim, and Yaakov sojourned in the land of Ham, and he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. So let me go to Galatians 4. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differs nothing from a servant, though he be master of all. This is Galatians 4:1. But is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage by the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, Elohim sent forth the Son, who was born of a woman and subject to the law. Again, it goes back to the same cycle Yosef went through, same cycle Yaakov went through. They went through bondage. Now that they went through bondage, the word came and they were set free. We are in bondage. Well, I'm in Kenya, but still, it's a form of bondage because this ain't my land. You know, these ain't really my people. I can't reclaim them to be my people because they don't act like my people. So, but when the word comes, we shall go forth, and then we shall be free from the bondage when the word comes. We were waiting on the word to come. And when we are free, then we can go and put these talents to work. You don't want to be the one who hid his talent in the ground. Well, I knew you was a hard and stern man, and here's your talent back. Instead, you want to give back Yahuah, multiply those things. That when he break them branches off, you don't be in so much pain that you dwell on what broke off, but instead you think about what's growing now. And I ask you, like, prune me. break these branches off me so I can produce more for you. My whole thing was when I came into the awakening in 2021, like I started to learn so much. And I was like, you will make me like gold. Make me like gold. Suffering, a lot of suffering came to that. But I didn't care for the suffering because I'm just like, take all this stuff out of me. What do I need to cut off? What do I need to sacrifice? What can I give to you? Okay, I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice these video games, so I don't play these anymore. Anime, I'm gonna sacrifice anime. I'm gonna put this on the altar so I don't watch this stuff anymore. Okay, so what else can I give you? Test me, Yahuah. That's what I was literally said. Test me. Show me what I need to do. I want us to be in the bondage so I can be free in him and grow, that I can be purged in the fire. And I kept throwing myself in the fire. Literally, I'll go through one thing. It hurts. After 2 days, ain't no more fire. Put me back in the fire. I go through another one, like 2-3 weeks. Okay, it's over. Put me back in the fire. You test me another way, test me another way, test me another way. And I want to be found faithful in everything he tested me in. Until the testing stopped. And I'm just like, okay, judge me now. And he did judge me. But the thing was that I'm just like, okay, I want to go through this because I want to get everything out of me. And I got a lot out of me in those months. But we have to get everything out of us before we can inherit the kingdom. Because he don't want a kingdom of hurt people, a kingdom of traumatized people. Yeah, he's going to clean our bloodline. But he wants people who's going to love and cherish him more than anything, who's going to work for him just like Moshe worked for him, just like Yocef worked for him, just like the prophets worked for him, just like the kings worked for him, to judge his people. We have to work for Yahuah. And it only will come through being a son and a daughter. So this, I have this one, I'm just going to read this one thing. Be bowed down and humble like Yocef, but stay in Yahuwah's will. Let him try you to find you faithful. Then when the word comes, you will be set free to serve Yahuwah in a greater way, being humble and knowledgeable. And that was my whole thing, was to be humble and knowledgeable, to want to serve Yahuwah. Even now, I'm like, okay, help me to be knowledgeable to do this. I don't get it, Yahuwah. I don't understand this. Help me to understand this. Help me to grow in this way. You put all these things in my hands and I don't have any man to teach me. So I ask that you would teach me. Show me how to do this. Show me how to grow in this way. Lead me in this. And he has been doing that speedily through the weeks. So I can, okay, I'm trying to learn how to play the djembe. So there's a guy over there who I know I can go to, who sold the djembe to. Okay, I can learn over there. Okay, I'm learning how to cook more. Cook more dishes. Okay, putting these talents to the exchangers. I'm learning. Singing, still need to get better at that. Writing, being a scribe, still need to get better at doing that. Business, got to go read a book about business, now get better at that. But it's about adding all these gifts to me, so when he comes and he says, hey, who can I find faithful to go and work this? Boom. I can choose him. He's faithful. He knows how to do this. He knows how to do this. He knows how to do this. He can lead my people in this. He can work the fields and do this. He has understanding and knowledge in this. He can be fruitful in this. He can gain me more in this. That's what it's all about. Gaining more to Yahuwah. Because in the opposite side, these devils are gaining to Satan. They got skilled musicians who lead people to the clubs and dance and all this stuff. They got skilled people in business that they go and do all these wickedness in business and have these business parties. And if you want to grow higher and higher, you got to grow higher and higher in wickedness. Hasatan made his people put their talents to the exchangers. How much more you? Hasatan is recruiting witches and warlocks all the time, drawing them into darkness, giving them false promises that he can't really deliver on. But he'll give them some power. He snares them in. Then now people are working from in evil and wickedness. He's drawn all this evil to himself. The same thing we have to do for Yahuah. Draw all this righteousness to Yahuah with our gifts and our talents, not being lazy, having 10, 20, 30, 40 talents. We have to work for Yahuah as Hasatan people work for him. But we have to work harder because the righteous are few and the wicked are many. Let's read more of this. Yahuah wants his servants to be faithful, not faithless. Always, faithless as always complaining when he has provided for us. That's why he's allowing everything to test us. And we are to see what he is testing so that we can see what needs to be improved on. So Yahuah, just like in the wilderness, allow us to be tested. Why? Because he wants his people to grow now. He took us in the wilderness before, and he's seen what happened when we didn't have all the knowledge, we didn't have all the understanding. Okay, they all had to die. So now he's like, I'm going to prune you even in your captivity. So this way, when you come to me, you're not going to be scared to come to the mountain because you've already fellowshiped with me. You've already known me, and I know you. This is the first fruits that he's gathering. It's a greater submission to Yahuah or a person over us to check our emotions. It can even be to add faith in us by trusting in Yahuah. So whoever Yahuah puts over us, and Moshe and all these people, when it's time, we won't complain, we won't chide with them, we won't try to stone them, but instead we'll be submitted to serving his kingdom army. We can already just go for it. Yahuah, you call this man to be this person? Okay, hallelujah. Well, let me serve. What do Yahuah tell you about me that I should be doing, that I can serve in this kingdom? Where do you want to put me? What's my function? What's my position? Because the Levites had functions. They were put in certain places, the porters, and then those people in the army, they had certain places and positions and functions. And then the elders had certain positions and functions of what they were to do and judge the people. What are you going to do? Even the commoner people was chose out for certain things because I need you to make this. I need these certain Levites to come over here and to tear down the tabernacle and pick it up and carry the Ark of the Covenant. I need certain people who know how to sing, so you're going to put those talents to use and be singers. Now, we even broke people up and did that, set them in position. And Nehemiah, he broke them up and set the Levites in position with the porters according to the bloodline and lineage. Again, you have to have something to bring before Yahuah. Don't come to him empty-handed. First fruits. You have Pesach. You have to have a lamb. You ain't sacrificing nothing. First fruits. You're giving the first fruits of your labors. Oh, there's a third one too. Atonement. You have to give him something. Don't appear before Yahuah empty-handed when he comes. Yes, we're working, we're praying, we're praising, we're worshiping, we're waiting on Yahuah, but you got to build yourself up too. It's not just building up your brother. Oh, brother, you're good. You know, do that too, but also don't forget about you. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So that's all I had about be like Yocef. Go forth with the ruach of excellence. Whatever you do, do it unto Yahuah. If it's just doing the works, do it unto Yahuah. If it's to be of faith, praying, praising, warfaring for yourself or for a nation, do it unto Yahuah. Do everything unto Abba Yahuah. That's how you keep your mind focused and stayed on him. So, again, shalom and be strong.